Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Now we are going to take grammar exercise of unit 1 that is based on direct and indirect speech. Here we call it narration also, direct or indirect narration. You have already learned about the different rules of direct and indirect. When the direct sentence is given, at that time you need to change it into indirect one. Clear? So how to use the direct and indirect speech, that rules hopefully you all are clear with. And it takes place when, especially when we are going to convert that, when we are using this direct and indirect, when we have to convert one form of speech into the another one. Like when the direct sentence is given, we are changing it to indirect, or when the indirect is given, we are again changing into the direct one. Few examples are given here, and after the discussion of the examples, we are going to do the discussion over the exercise based on direct and indirect. Okay, the first one is given here. The direct sentence is here. Manan said to Rakhi. So here this said is going to be reported verb. Clear? The verb before the statement is taken as the reported verb. Sometimes it is given said, told, asked. So it may vary according to the sentence. The one which is given in the inverted comma, that is what do we call that? We call it reported statement or reported speech. Clear? Reported statement or reported speech is given here. In this sentence, we have seen that Manan said to Rakhi. That said is given in past, giving us the indication that something was told in the past. I think the English singing contest is to be held tomorrow. And as it is, the reported statement has been given here, what actually was told by Manan to Rakhi. Now, when we are changing it to indirect speech, according to the reported verb, we have to change the statement. Clear? So, how it has been changed? Manan told Rakhi that he thought the English singing contest was to be held the following day. So, here some changes you might have noticed, that instead of is, it changed into past verb form, was has been used here. Then tomorrow has been changed into the following day. Here this tomorrow has been changed in the following day. So these are the few changes you need to consider, and at that time when you are attempting this exercise, you need to pay attention, or you need to recall all the rules of direct and indirect speech. Clear? You must be knowing that which particular tense is given, to how it is going to be changed into the another one. For example, this another example we are taking now. The librarian said. This is the reported verb. I am busy today. So how we are going to change it here? The librarian informed, because something was sort of information, so that's why we have used here informed. Then that he or she was busy that day. So today changed to that day, and I am busy. It is given in the present tense. Clear? That is the present tense. But here we have seen this reported verb in the past, so accordingly we have changed it into the past tense. Clear? The next example given in the direct speech again, Rohan said, my family is helping me arrange the party tonight. So, reported verb we have to find out, and then we have to pay attention to the reported speech or reported statement, because that is the most important thing, and according to reported verb we are going to change the reported speech. So Roshan told me that his family was helping him. Is helping changed to was helping. Clear? So it was present continuous here. So you must be recalling the rule now, that present continuous will change to past continuous one. Clear? Him arranged the party and this tonight. These are the few things that you need to remember. You need to learn that how the tonight will change into that night, Today will change into that day. Tomorrow will change into following day. So these are the basic rules that you need to learn. Clear? The next example we are taking, Joginder said mother was ill yesterday. So Joginder told me that his mother had been ill in the previous day. Now this is given in the past tense. So past tense will change into had been ill. Past perfect we are going to take here, ill the previous day, and yesterday change into previous day. Another example, Vineet said Mohit submitted all the important documents for his visa to study in Germany next year. So here Vineet informed me that Mohit had submitted all the important documents for his visa to study in Germany. Few things will change. Clear? Like if we talk about the tense, submitted is there, so we have written had submitted. So it will come in perfect one. Next year changed into the following year. Another example, Sohan said to Fida, the school basketball team is playing well now. So we have to keep focus here. Firstly, we have to keep focus here to the reported verb, in which tense it is given, and accordingly we have to change this reported speech. So we'll do here, Sohan told Fida, because already it is given to whom it was told, to Fida. So we have written Sohan told Fida that, and always removing, after removing these inverted commas, because we have to change it into indirect one. So we'll remove that inverted comma, and most of the time we are using that. Clear? Before starting with the reported statement, we have to use that here. The school basketball team was playing well then. Is will change into, here same, the present continuous it is, that change into past continuous, and now will change into then. Another example, the men at the counter said, you need to give your address proof to get the voter ID card made. So here accordingly we will see that how we have to change it into indirect one. The men at the counter explained to me. This we have to change, or this we have to use according to the given sentence, whether it is told or something being informed or something being asked. Clear? That I needed to give my address proof, the rest of the sentence is going to be the same. Address proof to get a voter ID card made. So that will change into past. Present will change it simply into the past tense. Next example, the class teacher said to Suresh, I will give you the admit card for the upcoming board exam. So here we have to find out that it is in future tense. Simple. Future it is. The class teacher said to Suresh, and that is in past. So accordingly we have to change it. The class teacher told Suresh that she would give him the admit card the upcoming board exam. So that will change into would. Clear? Will change into would, or shall will change into should. So accordingly we have to work here. The doctor said, another example, to the patient, having timely food is as important as for your morning walk. So here we have to mention the doctor emphasized or doctor told or suggested, it can be used accordingly. Clear? To the patient that having food on time was as important as for him as his morning walk. So here he has mentioned only this is changed into was. The another example, here the reported speech is given first. You can see this reported speech in inverted comma is given first, and later on they have mentioned about the reported verb. Clear? So now we have to see the soup is tasteless, the dinner, the soup is tasteless, the diner said to the chef. Then we have to change, when we are converting it into indirect one, at that time we have to use the reported verb in the beginning. The diner complained to the chef that the soup was tasteless. That present tense will change into past. Another example, the film is about to begin, whispered Singha. So, Singha whispered to me that the film was about to begin. Another one, the color combination of this dress ensemble is horrible, muttered the customer. So, how we are going to change it? The customer muttered complainingly that the color combination of that dress was horrible. Only what we have done here? This given here, the combination of this we have changed to that. Clear? This changed to that when we are changing direct into indirect. Now the another example they have given, I will not support Australia in the next match against Africa the next week, said Rafiq categorically. Here the next week said Rafiq categorically. Here we have to find out the next week will change and here will change. So here we'll mention that Rafiq declared categorically that he will change into would not support Australia in the next match against Africa following week. Tomorrow, following day, and here next week is going to change into following week, the upcoming week. Why we have written here following week? Because something that is going to be happen in future. According to this will, we have to change that. Clear? The another one, the teacher said stars twinkle in the night sky. So, the teacher said, we know that is the reported verb and it is in, this is the reported verb and it is in past. Every time we are changing the reported statement according to this reported verb. But sometimes the exceptional cases are there. In the case of universal truth, clear? Or here some past habit if we talk about. Universal truth when you are talking about, there will be no change. Whatever the reported verb was there, the reported statement is not going to change in that case. Clear? So here stars twinkle in the night sky. That is the universal truth and cannot be changed. So accordingly what we are going to do because of this universal truth, we are not going to change the statement. Let's see in the indirect how we are going to change it. The teacher said that the stars twinkles in the night. We haven't changed the reported statement. Reason because that is the universal truth. Another one, the scientist says each molecule of water consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom. So, here also if we talk about, that is a universal truth which cannot be changed. Clear that each molecule of water consists of 2 hydrogen atom and an oxygen atom. So, we'll use here and this reported verb we can say it is in present tense. So, we are going to change it as it is. We are going to use it as it is. The scientist says that each molecule as it is, the whole sentence will remain same. Because the reason, universal truth. Next one, he says I am busy. So, this is in present tense, reported speech is in, this reported verb if we talk about is in present tense. So, that's why the sentence given here, the reported speech is given here will also change accordingly, will remain in the present only. He says that he is busy. This will change according to the subject given here. Clear? So, hopefully all these sentences, the examples we have seen are clear to each and everyone. Now, we are going to take one exercise. Now, we are going to take the exercise based on these direct and indirect. So, let's start with that. Here, read these dialogues and fill in the blanks. The different dialogues are given to us. Conversation is given and according to that, we have to fill the given blanks below. Sahil, I have invited 4 of my friends for dinner today. So, we have to keep focus about that verb which has been used here and the other significant words. Then I will invite my friends also. Sahil, that will be a good idea. Radhika, so what should we have for dinner? Sahil, let us decide the menu now. Now this is the dialogue they have given, the conversation between the two. Now based on that we have to change this direct. This is the direct one and we have to change this direct sentences into the indirect one here. Clear? We have to refer this given conversation or the dialogues for filling the blanks. So let's start with that. Here firstly we'll see that Sahil told Radhika that, then Radhika said, which Sahil thought. So we can see here it is telling us that it has been used in past tense. Here accordingly we are going to change the statement. So first one, Sahil told Radhika that. So the first sentence, I have invited 4 of my friends for dinner today. So it will change to that. I will change to he. He had, and this will change to past perfect. He had invited 4 of his friends. He had invited 4 of his friends for dinner that day. For dinner today will change into that day. Clear? Next one. Then Radhika said, what the Radhika said, then I will invite my friends also. So we have to mention accordingly. The Radhika said she would then invite her friends also. It will be then Radhika said she would then invite her friends also. She would then invite her friends also. So will change into would here. Next, which Sahil thought, that will be a good idea, we have to change it. Which Sahil thought would be a good idea, because that simply is going to change into would. When Radhika asked here, so what should we have for dinner? So this we have to change. When Radhika asked what they should have for dinner. What they should have for dinner. Here Sahil replied, let us decide the menu now. And here we have to change, we have to pay focus that this now we have to change accordingly. Clear? So that will be Sahil replied that they should decide, they should decide the menu then. Clear? So this was the exercise based on direct and indirect. With the help of the direct narration, we are supposed to fill the blanks given below. And according to the verb form or reported verb, we have to change the sentences given in the blank. Next exercise based on the same. There is a conversation between principal and a student. So we'll see that principal, where is your mother? Riya, I have no mother. She died 5 years back. Principal, who was the lady with whom you came in? Riya, she is a stranger. She brought me a treat. Principal, you should not accept food from a stranger. So now this is the conversation between the two. Here we have to change that direct into the indirect one. We have to change this direct narration into the indirect one. The principal asked Riya. So we have to mention here the things that according to which was is there. So how we are going to change the sentences. Clear? So let's start with that. The first one they have given. The principal asked, where is your mother? It is. So where her mother was. So we have to written here the principal asked Riya where her mother was. Clear? Because this we have to change. Where is your mother? So where is her mother was. And is we have changed to was. Puzzled the girl told the principal. She, here the next sentence we are going to write down. The puzzled the girl told the principal that she had no mother. She had, so we have to write down, told the principal that, according to this will change, she had no mother. Again here, according to this, who had died 5 years back. Who had died 5 years back. Then at this the principal asked her, who was the lady with whom you came in, we have to change this sentence now. Asked her who the lady was, here we'll do this, who the lady was with whom she had come in, who the lady was with whom she, already it is given here, had come in. Riya replied that she is a stranger, she brought me a treat. Then Riya replied that she was a stranger who had brought her a treat. Clear? That simple past will change into the perfect one. Had brought her a treat. Then the principal told Riya, you should not accept food from the stranger. So, what was told? Riya not to accept. Then the principal told Riya not to accept food from a stranger. Clear? So this was also the second exercise that we have taken based on the direct and indirect speech. The third exercise, the conversation between Maggie and Tom. Maggie, how much money did you give for the rabbits? 5 shillings and 6 pence. I think I have got more than in my box upstairs. I will ask mother to give it to you. What for? I don't want your money. I have got far more money. I want to buy some more rabbits. So, here we have seen the conversation between the two. Now, based on that, we have to fill the given blanks. So, according to these reported verb, we are going to change it. Maggie asked Tom, how much money, here we'll write, Maggie asked Tom, how much money he had given for the rabbits. Tom replied promptly. Then based on the conversation of Tom, when he said 5 shillings and when he said 5 shillings and 6 pence, so then we are going to mention here Tom replied promptly that he had paid 5 shillings, that we have to mention from the conversation only, 5 shillings and 6 pence. Clear? Maggie told him. Then the conversation was that I think I have got more than that in my box upstairs. I will ask mother to give it to you. So how we are going to change it? That Maggie told him that. Here, told him that. What she told? That she thought she had got. She thought she had got more than that in her box upstairs. In her box upstairs. Rest of the sentence is going to remain same. Clear? After that, she would. So here we have to put and then it is given here. She would ask mother to give that money to him. Tom said, what for? I don't want your money. I have got far more money. So Tom said that he didn't want her money. Clear? And then he also mentioned that I have got far more money. So how we are going to change that? He had got far more money. That he had got far more money. Then Maggie told him that the last sentence of Maggie was, I want to buy some rabbits. So Maggie told him that she wanted to buy some. So it will be Maggie told him that she wanted to buy some rabbits. Clear? So here also this was the exercise based on that. So hopefully it is clear. Now we are going to take the another one. The next part of this, the conversation between doctor and patient given in the direct speech, and we have to change it into the indirect one. Doctor, hello, how are you feeling now? Patient, I am much better, sir. Doctor, are you not fully well? Don't you take proper rest? Patient, I am not fully well as I cannot have proper rest because of the busy schedule. Doctor, take some tonic to regain your health. Okay. So this is a conversation between the doctor and the patient. Based on their conversation, we are going to complete the given statements. The first one, the doctor said. Here we have to check the statement of the doctor that hello, how are you feeling now? So we have to write here the doctor asked. Here it is given his patient. This we have to mention according to the sentence given. His patient, how he was feeling then. How he was, we have to change how he was feeling then. That now change to then. The patient replied that he was much better. The patient replied because it is in past, so accordingly we have changed. The patient replied that he was much better. Clear? The doctor asked. So what was the statement of doctor? That are you not fully well? Don't you take proper rest? So here the doctor asked, condition is given here, are you not fully well? So here we can mention whether he was not fully well. Whether or if we can use accordingly, whether he was not fully well and whether he did not take proper rest. The next part also, and whether he did not take proper rest. The patient replied that he was not fully well, Then why he was not? As I cannot. So cannot will change into could not. As he, so it will be as he could not have. So we'll do here could not have proper rest because of the busy schedule. So could not have proper rest because of the busy schedule. Clear? Finally, the doctor advised the patient. What was that advised? To take some, we can mention here, the patient mentioned take some tonic to regain your health. Okay. So, the doctor advised the patient to take some tonic, patient to take some tonic to regain his health. Clear? So, in this way we have finished it based on the conversation. All the 4 parts hopefully were clear to each and everyone, that how you have to change it. You need to recall the rules for changing the direct into indirect. Need to keep focus on the reported verb and what kind of reported speech is given. According to the reported verb, we are going to change the reported speech or the reported statement given in the direct sentences. Now, the next part of this exercise we are taking, that is read these situations and write suitable dialogue. So, different situations are given to us here, and based on that we have to write the dialogues here. The first one we are looking for, you are a student of class 11th who was unable to return his library books as you were travelling to your native village for the summer holidays. You are requesting the librarian to exempt you from paying the fines as it is the first time this has happened. The librarian is pretty firm about the rules. So, here you got the conversation is going to, firstly you need to recognize that between whom the conversation is going to be. So, through this situation we have got to know that the conversation is between the librarian and a student. So, here we are going to do that dialogue or the conversation that where we are going to mention it into the direct speech. So, how it can be like student, the statement of student is going to be there and the librarian. So, according to the situation we can start like this. Good morning. Good morning sir or madam, accordingly you can mention here. Clear? Then you can show the reply of librarian also, the teacher, good morning. Then student. So, it will be where the student was not able to return the books on time. So, for that only the conversation will be. So, you can mention here, you can mention I am sorry sir or madam, you will mention accordingly. I am sorry sir, I am late to return the books. I am late to return the books I borrowed. I borrowed a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago. Then the dialogue of the librarian we have to mention here. Oh, are you? You have to. Then the dialogue of the librarian will be that, oh, are you? You have to remit a late fine of rupees 50. Remit the late fine of rupees 50. Then student, because it was given in the situation, student would like to mention this point that this is the first time he was at fault or he was not able to return the books on time. So, he will talk to the librarian regarding the same and will request for removing his fine. Clear? So, you have to remit a late fine of rupees 50. Then a student will say, I am sorry, but this is the first time I am not able to not able to return the books on time. Then we have to show the dialogue of the librarian. Then the librarian will say, I understand, but I am bound to rules and regulations of library. So this sort of conversation can be given. Situation will be given to you, and based on that, on your own, you have to just write down the dialogues. Clear? And it should be relevant to the situation given to you. Nothing extra you have to write down, and accordingly you just have to finish with the narration. So hopefully this is clear to each and everyone. Now we are taking the second, we will see that what kind of second example is given here. You have to make an appointment for your mother with a doctor. You have called the clinic and are speaking to the receptionist who wants details of what the problem is. Give the necessary details and note the time and date of the appointment. So here the conversation is between the receptionist and you. So this we have to show here. And what is going to be the main agenda for conversation? That you want to take appointment for your mother, where you are going to discuss all the details with the receptionist, and where the time and the date of the appointment will be informed to you. So here, if we are talking about the conversation, you have to show between the two people. First one, you can mention the son of the patient, or you can mention patient's son. This is going to be the first one. The second person is going to be your receptionist. Clear? So this conversation you have to show between these two, and based on the question given to you, you can mention that, hello, is this any particular name you can take for this? Is this city clinic? Then receptionist may reply for that the question that you have asked. Yes sir, it is. And I am receptionist speaking. What can I do for you? Or no need to mention that I am receptionist speaking. Yes sir, it is. What can I do for you? The simple dialogue you can frame, and try to use the simple sentences while you are framing or while you are forming this conversation or the dialogues, because it will be easier for you to understand, and that will reduce the chances of the mistake in the dialogues or the narration. Clear? Then the patient's son dialogue you have to mention. My mother would like to consult the name of the doctor, doctor this and this. Is he available today? So that kind of question can be asked. Receptionist, no, he is. Then you will mention that the receptionist said, no, he is not. May I know who you are? Then patient will mention his or her name. The patient is going to mention his name. Receptionist, I would like to note down your mother's age, name, as well as what problem she would like to have a consultation. Then you are going to, based on this details given here, because details will be asked by the receptionist, it is given here. So accordingly you have to frame the dialogue. So the same way the conversation will go, and where you are giving the detail, and finally the receptionist would be giving you the consultation. Like she can mention that the consultation will begin at 2 p.m. Please be here on time on Monday, and the date will be mentioned to you. Clear? So you will say thank you. That's it. So in this way you have to frame this conversation. The next one we are taking the another example they have given. You have just completed your final exams and are preparing to enter college. Your father is worried about the career path you have in mind, whereas you are certain about what you want to do. The two of you debate the pros and cons of your decision. Now, the conversation between the father and son is going to be there. Clear? Sort of debate where you are doing the discussion over that what is your decision. and what kind of result or the outcome going to be there, the decision taken by the son. So we can start like this. The father asked, any of the name you can take, the son name if you, or dear son if you would like to mention. Dear son, are you sure that you wish like to choose BSc for your next course or for your college? Then the conversation, the dialogue of the son is going to be, yes dad, I want to be a teacher or the lecturer or whatever the field you have selected, the course you have selected, accordingly you will mention your choice for that. Father, I am afraid you are choosing a wrong path. Then the conversation of the son, the dialogue of the son is going to be there. Never dad, it is always going to be my ambition. Then we have to mention that how the father is worried. The dialogue that I want to make you an engineer. Then you have, as a son, he has to keep his point. So all the points will be mentioned that as a son I am bound to fulfill your wish, but these days most people choose the path they desire for. Then that, I mean the cutthroat competition is there in the field of engineering and many are still left jobless. Moreover, these are the days of genius. Son, you talk wiser than me. Did. It's a fact. So, here we have to mention the conversation between the two, that how we can continue between the father and son when they are doing the discussion over the career path and the decision taken by the son. It's up to you, whatever the decision you would like to show, any of the course, whether you are taking BSc, commerce or humanities, accordingly you can mention, and according to the stream you are going to select, you have to mention your career also. Clear? So that way conversation will go. Both father and son are going to keep their points, and pros and cons we have to mention here. So both will keep their point, that what are the positive outcome if he has selected to be a teacher or engineer or whatever the father want him to be. Clear? So this way you have to, one example we have already done in detail, one question, first question was taken in detail. So hopefully rest two also we have discussed here. Same way you have to follow your conversation and keep your sentences simple and short.